You can put on my film. I think I've been the best player in college football 2 years in a row, and I think I've consistently done that.
But was he really the best player? After watching the film, man, I don't know. On a scale from not a problem to a problem, I would say he's easily manageable. Let me show you guys what I saw. Now, it's first important to understand the context of this Ohio State offense. They have 3 first-round level receivers. One of them is maybe the best receiver prospect since Calvin Johnson. And they also have 2 tackles who probably would have went top 15 if it wasn't for one of them having an NBA dream. So he's literally, when he gets to Houston, he's going to have a worse offense around him than he did in Ohio State, which is crazy to think about, but important to consider when evaluating him as a prospect. Literally at Ohio State, he was put in the best position to excel. The Notre Dame game is a perfect example where he has some good plays, but a lot of plays that make you question how he will translate to the NFL. One of the first plays of the game, Ohio State runs a 3-level concept, and there's only 2 defenders on that strong side where he's throwing to. And both defenders come down to the shorter routes, and you can see that the corner route is open. So I think Stroud's got to release that quicker. I think through a lot of his film, you'll see a lot of question marks with his anticipation. And when he gets to the NFL, those windows are going to be smaller. He's going to have to think quicker. So that is one red flag. He can definitely throw the ball. You'll see this rope that he delivers to the outside. He has a good arm, but he also needs to be set and well protected in order to show it off, in my opinion. So, that's a throw that every quarterback in the NFL should make. Every star quarterback has to make that throw, so you have to consider that. You can be accurate in a clean pocket, but that is not going to translate directly to NFL success. But then also, he does show some flashes of potential playmaking, like on this play, where he's running to the outside and delivers a strike to the receiver. So there are flashes in his game, but then you'll see a play like this, where he's late on the backside dig, awkward movement in the pocket. He could have taken a couple steps and delivered that ball. And if he doesn't want to throw that, he can also run. So it's just weird decisions in the pocket are pretty consistent on his film. And then also some throws he just doesn't choose to make for some reason, like this wheel route right here. I think he gets the matchup he wants. Pretty clean look. Not really sure why he doesn't throw it. But a lot of these question marks and just failures in perfect situations are definitely alarming and something to look out for. Now on to the Wisconsin game. This might have been his worst game of the season. A lot of bad decisions, especially once they gained a big lead. He started really throwing into traffic. To start off early on, this is a nice touch throw. You'll see a lot of these in his film, but that's a throw that an NFL quarterback has to make. So he does have nice touch, but he went number 2 overall. You got to see a little bit more than this on his film. But, you'll see nice touch on one play, then inconsistent on the next. As soon as the defense forces him to go on the move, as soon as there's minimal chaos in the pocket, you can see it directly has an effect on his accuracy. And this is a throw that he should be able to make, just overthrows it. And then also here's another one where he's inaccurate, quickly sets his feet. That might have been the reason why this pass drifted to the right, but way too close to the safety. This should be an easy touchdown. And then another example where there's a little bit of chaos in the pocket, arm in his face, and he completely oversails that corner route. It's a good read. The play works, just as it's designed, but he just misses the throw. And that's really a layup in the NFL. And there was a lot of talk about his accuracy pre-draft and how he's this ultimate, super precise guy, but there were a lot of blips in his film. Right here, this sluggo that the receiver at the bottom of the screen performs leaves him wide open and should be a touchdown, but Stroud delivers this ball behind him. Clean pocket, just a miss, and the receiver just makes a hell of a catch. But there was the Georgia game where he played his best ball, biggest game of the season, and he had probably the best performance of his career. He showed examples of creating on his own, showed off his athletic ability, which is pretty good, but he just doesn't really use it. But it's hard to look at it as anything more than an anomaly. There were still some consistent blips, like decision making. For example, on this play, he has the deep C route. For some reason, he doesn't rip it, even though he has a clean pocket. There were some plays later in the game where he's taking a sack when he should be getting rid of the ball, and just his decision making is spotty here and there. But overall, a lot of great throws in this. But still, it's hard to watch all of his film and think of him as anything more than a guy who can make most throws when he's in a clean pocket, but he can also run for a first down if it's really open. But he's not really a dual threat like Anthony Richardson. Doesn't have the anticipation skills or the mental game of Bryce Young. Doesn't have the arm talent of Will Levis. So his upside is just not that high. I mean, the comparisons of Jared Goff I can definitely see. In the clean pocket he can be a machine, but overall way too many blips in his game for me to be confident picking him as high as second overall. And I just struggle to see his game translate to the NFL. Downgrading in talent, like I mentioned before, is going to be an issue for him. And, he doesn't really have any elite traits to his game. He's good in some areas, but not really top of the game anywhere else. So, this Ohio State offense is kind of hard to judge. But that's what I think about him. For me, if I had a good roster, if I was a late first round team, a deep playoff team, then maybe I would consider picking him if I really needed a quarterback. For me, picking him inside the top 10 really didn't make sense. At number 2, I really don't understand it, and I think the combination of picking Stroud at number 2 and then also trading their first round pick next year, I think that will set the Texans back a while, and I think they will be a bad team for years to come. But those are my thoughts on Stroud and the Texans situation. You guys let me know if I'm completely wrong or whatever. And yeah, leave your comments below. And that's all for me, man. I'm out.